Competitive Fortnite has made tons of young gamers extremely wealthy. While hundreds, if not thousands of people have had their lives completely changed by competing in Fortnite tournaments, there is another side hidden from the public that Epic Games does not want you to know about. This is the dark side of competitive Fortnite. Our first story begins in August of 2023. Europe's Chapter 4 Season 3 FNCS Grand Finals are coming to an end, and there's an unexpected team on top of the leaderboard. Swizzy, who recently switched from Asia to EU after winning an FNCS, and Putrik, a Russian player who had success in the past but never really came close to securing an FNCS title. After years of grinding, they had a 200-point lead going into the last game and were guaranteed to finally win. It was the best day of their Fortnite careers as they just made $200,000 and qualified for the Global Championships in Copenhagen. As they started to prepare for Copenhagen, both of them received an email explaining that they were disqualified from the Global Championships and they would not be receiving the $200,000 they worked so hard to earn. This is because Swizzy and Putrik are both Russian residents and the country was and still is facing sanctions from the United States. Although both players went to Serbia, in order to avoid this issue, you must be outside of Russia for at least 6 months out of a year to be considered a non-Russian resident. Because of this, Epic Games kept the money as they couldn't legally pay them out. While it was absolutely heartbreaking and unfair for them, they both continue to play Fortnite. Since then, both players have gone through the steps necessary to regain eligibility for events, and Swizzy managed to win FNCS last weekend, pocketing himself $100,000 and his spot at this year's Global Championship in Fort Worth. This time, he should have no issues receiving the money he rightfully earned and his LAN qualification spot. Swizzy was able to qualify for globals, but the next duo had their spot completely robbed from them by something out of their control. Iamzo and Rise have been one of the best duos in North America for almost 2 years, and while they've come close to winning at FNCS, they just come short every time. In Chapter 5 Season 1 Grand Finals, it was looking better for them than ever as they were in first place by 40 points with 4 games remaining. But the next game, there was one team missing on the battle bus, and it was Iamzo and Rise. Both of them immediately tweeted that they were getting DDoS, which means somebody was intentionally hitting them offline, so they were unable to play the game. They weren't able to get back online for Game 10 either, and by then their chances of winning FNCS and qualifying for the Global Championship were gone. While they were able to use a hotspot in order to play the last 2 games, their vibes were completely shot and there was no way to come back. They ended up finishing in 8th place, missing out on the FNCS win and an extra $115,000. But how could this happen? Who would intentionally take down Rise and Iamzo's internet when they were so close to accomplishing one of the most sought after things in Fortnite? Well, the first suspects were Booga and Aviv. A couple weeks before Grand Finals, Aviv's friend Bookie allegedly DDoSed Victor V, who was contesting Booga and Aviv in finals of the Duo Cash Cup. While it seemed like they would be the prime suspect, the real answer on who did it is still unknown. During every competitive season, Iamzo and Rise would move to Dallas for zero ping and live with a guy named Nissim. The main theory is that Nissim bought cheats while on the house's internet, which ended up giving the IP to the people he purchased the cheats from. From there, whoever had their IP ended up DDoSing them in the middle of Grand Finals. I don't think Nissim intentionally got them DDoSed, but it may have indirectly been his fault. Because why is he buying Fortnite cheats while living with 2 of the best players in the world? It was a really sad situation because they worked all season to win FNCS just to have it stripped away by something they couldn't do anything about. And after underperforming this season, they only have one more chance to qualify for the Global Championship, so hopefully they're able to pull it off. Nothing is worse than having internet issues like packet loss or high ping, especially in the first week of the new Fortnite season when all you need is this program called Gear Up Booster. Gear Up Booster is a safe program that runs in the background of your PC and it lowers your ping and gets rid of packet loss by making your connection way more stable. They also just came out with Gear Up 2.0, which made it even better than it already was. This is my ping on Central without Gear Up 2.0. As you can see, I'm on 20 ping, but with Gear Up 2.0 enabled, my ping goes straight to 0. Tons of pros like Peterbot, Mero, Asian Jeff, and Sway use Gear Up, so it is not bannable in any way. If you have bad ping, lag spikes, or packet loss, Gear Up Booster is the perfect thing for you. And if you're on console, don't worry because they have a gaming router called the HyperEv, which helps bring you a stable connection and 0 ping. Download Gear Up using the link at the top of the description or the link pinned in the comments and let me know how much your ping improved. Our next story takes place at the FNCS Global Championships in Copenhagen last October. In order to qualify, you had to place high enough in an FNCS on your region throughout the year or in the last chance qualifier. On OCE, Jason and Repulse were able to place first in the Chapter 4 Season 3 FNCS, securing themselves $20,000 and a spot in the Global Championships. But there was one issue. Repulse wasn't actually Repulse and the person playing on his account was fully cheating. While everybody on the OCE region knew this and reported it to Epic Games, they never banned them. Fast forward 2 months and all of the qualified players were flown out to Copenhagen to compete. 2 days before the tournament was scheduled to start, word started to spread that Jason Repulse had been disqualified and nobody was surprised. It turns out Repulse admitted to other players that it was not him playing on the account and it was actually Forbes. Forbes was another well-known player in OCE, and by playing on Repulse's account, he figured there was a chance he would not get banned. Sadly, this caused Volks and his duo Pumpkin to be robbed of their chance to compete on LAN because Fortnite didn't take action even though they had more than enough evidence to do so. This was also the second year in a row that Volks was robbed out of a spot at the Global Championships. In 2022, he qualified with Looter after winning FNCS in Chapter 3 Season 2. However, he was streaming a solo Cash Cup a few months later while in a call with one of his friends when this happened.
Gone. Oh, sorry. Hey, that's your head though. I really wanted that bush. I was going for the big there, bro. What happened to that big?
It was my spare big I grappled over like 2 seconds ago, bro.
While he didn't do anything wrong and nothing that happened due to him being in a call with the player in the bush changed the outcome of the game, he was disqualified from the global championship and banned for 2 weeks for teaming. But Jace and Repulse weren't even the only players to get disqualified at this event. Bucky and Docus qualified for Copenhagen after pulling off one of the greatest day 2 comebacks in Fortnite history during Chapter 4 Season 3's FNCS. Everything was going to plan after both players made it to Copenhagen with no issues. Bucky was streaming in the practice room and nothing seemed to be wrong until the night before day 1 of the competition when Bucky was notified that he would no longer be able to participate in the event. The entire community was confused because on the surface it didn't seem like he did anything wrong. But no matter how hard he tried to convince the staff to unban him so he could compete, they wouldn't do it and he was quickly deported from the country and forced to fly back to the United States. Ocus was forced to play both days of the heats as a solo, and while he put up a good fight, there was no way he could qualify for finals as a solo against the best duos in the world. To this day, nobody knows the exact reason Bucky was disqualified and deported. There is speculation that he broke a Denmark law regarding smoking or drinking in his hotel room, but we will never know, and it's just an unfortunate situation all around. Nothing is worse than somebody else ruining your chances to win, like what happened during the FNCS All-Star Showdown. At the beginning of Chapter 2 Season 7, Fortnite hosted the FNCS All-Star Showdown. There was a massive $2.5 million prize pool, and since it was the first major solo tournament in over a year, it was a chance for underrated players to prove themselves. On the OCE region, Lunar was trying to do exactly that. Lunar was a solid player who consistently qualified for grand finals and usually placed just outside of the top 10, but he never really came close to winning one. Going into the All-Star Finals, nobody really expected him to win, but he was ready to prove them wrong. After 5 games, he was in first place, and all he needed was one more decent game to take home $20,000 and the respect of everybody on the region. Unfortunately, Riv Riley had different plans. Riv was basically in dead last, and for some reason, he decided to land on Lunar, and that's when this happened.
Pace has been dropping, so it's Rivley. Oh, bro, so fucking odd. Oh, Luna, you win this though, right?
Lunar's chances of winning an FNCS were gone just like that because Riv thought it would be funny. In a battle royale like Fortnite, last place landing on first is something that can happen, but this was the first time where it happened and completely ruined somebody's chances of winning. When this happened, Aussiantics was streaming and he called Riv a loser for doing what he did.
Obviously, you can land wherever you want, but when someone who's on 17 points lands on someone in first, who has a chance to make life-changing money, I'm gonna call that a grief. I called the kid a loser. That's what I said. I went on to explain that I just don't understand how people can lack the empathy to then just want to go and take so much money and a chance from someone. I didn't say go send this kid a bunch of hate. I didn't post his social media anywhere. I didn't try to say I hate this kid, you should give him death threats, but Epic has interpreted that as me using my audience to incite hate towards someone else. That's the situation, chat.
While he was on his own stream, which had no affiliation with the FNCS broadcast, he was fired due to these comments, even though what he said was completely justified in my opinion. Fortunately, this is where Aussiantic's career started to take off because nobody thought he deserved to be fired for this. It does have a happy ending because now he gets more viewers than the official Fortnite broadcast during every single FNCS Grand Finals. Another situation like this happened at DreamHack Dallas in 2022. Going into the last 2 games, Diego Plays was in first and he was uncontested, landing at the right side of the collider. It was looking like he would win the tournament and take home $8,000 until a random player decided to contest him off spawn. Oaksy wasn't playing very well and he was close to dead last when people in his Discord call convinced him to land on Diego Plays, and that is when this happened.
Diego goes down? Wait, Diego goes down to Oaksy. No. We just lost 2nd or 3rd place. Diego, very, very upsetting there. Honestly, I would not have expected to see that. Diego goes down to Oaksy, a player that I've been seeing in the quals today play very aggressively, but Oaksy cleaning up Diego. Diego in 2nd place falls.
Diego ended up going from 1st all the way to 14th place, and he took this personally. After the tournament ended, he walked over to Oaksy's seat and started to press him, and this is where things started to escalate. They got into an altercation, and while I won't show videos of the fight, both of them got messed up pretty badly, and the fight had to be broken up by security. I'm pretty sure this is the only time an actual fight has happened over a Fortnite tournament, but the game is never that serious, so why can't we all be friends like everybody involved in the next situation? Whether you want to believe it or not, all all of your favorite pro players cheat in some type of way. Whether it's teaming, stream sniping, or macroing to gain an advantage, they all do it to win. In Chapter 2 Season 2, Bucky and Creo and Keys and Slacks were both competing in the duo FNCS. Bucky and Creo were landing at Slurpy Swamp, and Keys and Slacks landed right beside them at the dam. There were tons of slurp barrels, slurp trucks, and slurp water that healed you at both drops, so they would trade shots without killing each other in order to get as much storm surge damage as possible. In week 1 of FNCS, they did this in finals, and the duos placed first and second. It was a great strategy, and nobody questioned the legitimacy of their placements until Bizzle tweeted this iconic video the next day. This sparked tons of debate around the community on whether or not this was actually teaming or just both teams being smart. In the end, all 4 players were hit with 60-day bans, which was extremely harsh, but Fortnite was using them to set an example, letting everybody know this was not allowed. They couldn't play the rest of this FNCS, and I personally don't think either team should have been banned, but my opinion does not matter. The last situation took place in November 2021. After winning back-to-back trio cash cups and placing 5th in Chapter 2 Season 8's FNCS, Nani and his trio were looking like a new top NA team.
Stay up, spray, 2 left.
Let's go! They came out of nowhere and everybody was wondering how they improved so fast. During this season, loot llamas would drop chug cannons, and if you had one, you had a huge advantage over the rest of the lobby. After watching their games back, some pros started to realize they were taking weird routes on their rotates, and they would find a llama every game, which was statistically impossible. During this time, if a player was able to find your game's match ID, they could go into the replay 5 minutes after the game started and fly around the map searching for a llama and other loot like launch pads. The entire community started to accuse Nani's trio and their coach of abusing the replay system and stream sniping in order to gain an advantage. Once this happened, Nani decided to start his live stream in order to clear his name, and that's when he did this.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I've got Yelty's stream up.
What is he at? What is he?
It's just,
Is he okay?
He accidentally played a recording where their coach was stream sniping Gelty, who was another player in the lobby, and when he did this, he immediately ended his stream. But because of this, their Cash Cup win was revoked and they were taken off the leaderboard, but they did not receive any bans and still got paid out for their 5th place in Grand Finals. According to the rules, having a coach go into replays in order to find loot was technically allowed, but stream sniping was not. While Fortnite has created opportunities for thousands of people, they try their best to hide the corruption and cheating that happens at the top level. The best players in the game will team, cheat, and do whatever it takes in order to make as much money as possible. If you enjoy videos like this, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because I upload twice a week.